and chaos. Our turmoil today is no different than the turmoil when Christ walked the earth. And that is described in scriptures today. There are a couple of words in the scripture that we need to handle very carefully. And in my talk today, I want to use those words very carefully. Because in so much of Christianity and the Bible, things are taken out of context. Yep. Let me give you an example. An eye for an eye. The contextual is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and revenge is mine, saith the Lord. The people, an eye for an eye. So that's why I went to you. We have a fire. I need to be careful using that word. Yeah. Because someone listening to this days and years later, they accuse me of using fire in a manner that was not intended. And I was amazed to hear in the scripture that Christ talked about fire. And if you're a camper, you know you kindle the fire before you put the match to it. As I mentioned, we are in a time of turmoil. In our world, there is war and starvation in the Middle East. There is war between Russia and Ukraine. And our country president recently met with the president of Russia. And there is dis and misinformation abound about who started the war and what's going on there. In our nation, war has been declared on the immigrants in our land. War has been declared on diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI for short. War has been declared on the LGBTQ2+I people in our land. War has been declared on consumer protection laws that are designed to protect us. War has been declared on the houseless, people of color, and the list goes on and on. Turmoil is designed to create, has been designed to create division, not peace. I lived through the 60s, and there are others of us here and those listening that may have lived through the 60s. Anything that did not fit the European evangelical model was called a communist. If you were labeled a communist, you probably lost your job. When I first came to the Northwest in 1962, there was a trial going on in the state of Washington. The news reported that the trial had been the longest trial in the state's history, all because someone had been accused of being a communist. Your life ended if you were accused of being a communist. If you called for civil rights, equal rights, you were a troublemaker. Some prophets are feeding on division between us. And that's happening today, setting up European-only communities, also known as white nationalist communities only. People are saying we are a Christian nation.
also meaning evangelical Christian. If you're not evangelical and European descent, you don't fit in. You can't be a Christian. There are attacks on the transgendered. Let's all discharge all transgenders from the military, which is going on today. Not only are they being discharged, the report is they will not be able to get their retirement. They are being denied, even though they've served a number of years. We talked about the 60s, and I'd like to read you a satirical song that was written, and I remember it from the 60s, by Tom Lear. Some of you may have heard it. It was not a Billboard song, and Tom Lear recently passed away July 25th at the age of 97. Here it goes. Oh, the white folks hate the black folks. The black folks hate the white folks. To hate all but the right folks is an old established rule. But during National Brotherhood Week, Lena Horne and Sheriff Clark are dancing cheek to cheek. It's fun to eulogize the people you despise, as long as you don't let them in your school. Or the poor folk hate the rich folk. The rich folks hate the poor folks. All of my folks hate all of your folks. It's American as apple pie. But during National Brotherhood Week, New Yorkers love the Puerto Ricans because it's very chic. Step up and shake the hand of someone you cannot stand. You can tolerate him if you try. Or the Protestants hate the Catholics, and the Catholics hate the Protestants, and the Hindu hate the Muslims, and everybody hates the Jew. But during National Brotherhood Week, be nice to the people who are inferior to you, if only for a week. So have no fear. Be grateful that it doesn't last all year. But Christ came to bring peace. Christ in Luke referred to fire. Now that can be a bad thing, but when Christ used the word fire in Luke, it symbolizes Christ's passion and intensity to bring salvation and judgment to the world. Christ also spoke of his baptism. And what Christ meant when he spoke of the baptism in Luke is Christ knew the crucifixion would happen. Christ also knew the resurrection would happen. It would come. Christ knew that his mission was to upset the status quo. When you start talking love in a place that does not believe in love, you are upsetting the status quo. And the naysayers come out to use all manner and vile language against you. Christ knew that his teaching would bring forth false prophecies. It would move us to love ourselves and love one another. We must first love ourselves, who we are, and then we can reach out and love one another. A rhetorical question: given the current day and political atmosphere, how many of us have been unfriended on Facebook? How many of us are not speaking to biological family because we have opposing ideas, or we are rejected, we are accepting, they are rejecting because we are accepting? Something else that happened in the 60s. A man named Troy Perry, the founder of Metropolitan Community Churches, said, "I'm not going to take it anymore." He saw that we were divided. Stonewall happened in the 60s. But Troy said, "I'm not going to put up with human degradation." He also espoused a prophecy that began to change the world. Let me share a short story of a member here that goes back to the 60s. He said when he first came to Metropolitan Community Church, he walked around the block a couple of times before walking in, for fear of what it would do to his life if he was known to even attend a church that was accepting. Many of us know that the larger community refer to us as a queer church. I am here to say we are a Christian church that embraces all of God's creation. God created us, whether you are gay, bi, God created us. Let us love ourselves and love one another, because we were created in God's image. God loved and blessed us. We are a community, comfortable. We must recognize the signs of the time. In recent months, as I mentioned, we have been under attack. Not only the LGBTQI plus community, people of color, the immigrants. We've been under attack verbally. We've been under attack physically. We have always been under attack both verbally and physically, but the physicality has picked up in recent months. We've been under attack emotionally and religiously. We must interpret the signs of our time. Yes, following Jesus causes division. There's a division among our friends, from our friends, when we decided to follow Jesus. We must fight for due process under the law, especially for our friends that are brown, especially for the immigrant. We must stand against people in masks, hauling people away under the darkness, not granting them due process, not letting them make a phone call to their loved ones. We must fight and stand against denying same-sex marriage, which is another one that has risen in the last few months. We must stand for the rights of the transgendered, the rights of the drag queen. We must stand for life, liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness of all. And we must be sure to include all in it. Again, I'm going to share a poem with you. I did not write it. It's by Martin Niemöller. Many of you are going to recognize it. First, they came for the communist, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialist, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist. I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. We must, as people of faith, speak out. We must make our voices known. There is a popular video on social media that is going around. It is something about walk the walk and let the haters talk the talk. If they talk about Jesus, they will talk about us. But we must walk the walk. Walk the walk of love. Let them talk. Let the haters talk. Walk the walk of peace. Let the haters talk. Be accepting of the foreigner, the immigrant. Let the haters talk. Be accepting of all. And to be accepting, sometimes we need to reach out. We need to make the first step to bring them in, because the pain of suffering has gone so deep for so many, for so long, that it has become a way of life. And we as people of faith need to be bold to change it. Let us walk the walk of love. Let the haters talk.